It's Taco Bell time, everybody! Yeah! Welcome to Johnsequitur, and I am Johnny 5 from that movie. You know, when he was a robot, but now he's sentient, and he does a show with a party naked shirt.
Oh, that's great, okay.
You know how many times I had to do that intro? You don't want to know how many times I had to do that intro. It's ridiculous. We're supposed to talk about Taco Bell.
Oh, Taco Bell, product placement with Taco Bell. Injarito, macho burrito.
Last we left me, I was coming back from going across the country. This entire series is about minimum wage jobs and why you should be paid more to have them. One of the thoughts that I've had since about this particular time in my life is, why have a job if it doesn't pay you enough to stay alive? Personally, this is a great example of that situation from me. I was coming back from trying to go to college. Some circumstances happened where I was going to be a journalist, and instead I was back home living with my parents. Now, normally at this time in somebody's life, they go to college, they find a career, and that's the whole point of going to college. Not just to go, right? It's not just to go to college. It's to find a career path and then do that career. Well, I wanted to be a journalist. There were no journalism schools around. The only thing I could do was work, right? So I decided I needed to get a job just because that's what you do, is get a job or go to college. And I wasn't about to go to college yet because I didn't know what for. So I had experience in fast food, you know, McDonald's and Burger King. And I decided that Taco Bell seemed right because, hey man, free tacos. Except not free tacos. When I applied for this job, I applied for the midnight shift. I did that specifically because they told me that I would be paid a shift differential. At the time, the minimum wage was either $5.50 or $5.15 an hour. I don't remember. It was nothing. So I learned how to close. I learned how to do all of the midnight shift stuff. When the time came for me to do it, they instead had me train somebody else, and that person got the job. I continued to work days. I didn't want to work days. I didn't want to get up and go to a job I hated to make $5 an hour, which again, go back to my McDonald's video, paid for the gas to go to work. However, at this point I started thinking to myself, this doesn't make sense. What am I doing? Why am I going to a job I don't want to make money that I don't get to keep in order to just keep going? I guess it's so that nobody thinks I'm a loser, but I work at Taco Bell, so I'm still a loser, right? At least according to the public. I mean, I started going through a lot of things in my brain at this time in my life. Nowadays, if I want to get that kind of thought process, I need to masturbate. Oh God. Oh man. What is my purpose? Why? Why? We've all been there. So let's talk about some of the dumb shit that happened while I was there. They couldn't get me a name tag with the word John on it, so instead they went with Greg. So I'm standing up front one day, off in space, and a customer starts being like, Greg, excuse me, Greg, and I'm just like this. Until finally he goes, Greg! Oh, the name tag, yeah, no, I'm John. They can't give me I don't care, I just want to make my order, is that too much to ask? So, you know, obviously wanting to avoid this kind of confrontation later, I took a Taco Bell cup, wrote on a piece of paper, my name is John, sorry the name tag says Greg. Set it on the counter. This went well for like 2 days. The customers would come up, read it, have a little laugh, order their food. Everything went fine. Until one day, a manager came up to me and said, the next time I see you using product without paying for it, I will take it out of your paycheck. Which I don't think is a thing you could do. Apparently they're really mad that I used a cup. And I used the same one. It's not like I used multiple cups. Now let's talk about the time at McDonald's when I found the $20 and they said that they were just making sure I was being a responsible employee. I walk into the bathroom at Taco Bell, and there on the floor is $5. This is my reaction. Uh-oh. I take the $5 to the manager and I go, I found this in the bathroom. And they're like, why didn't you just keep it? Alright. And everybody thought that I was weird because I didn't keep the $5. Because everybody was so fucking broke there that that's what they would have done. Because that's what anybody would do. Because there was no money to be had there. When it comes to free food, you didn't get free food. You got half off, which meant that you had to work like a half hour to be able to afford one taco. One thing I will give Taco Bell credit for that the other restaurants didn't do well was that they kept their food fresh as fuck. Like, they didn't keep things up in the pan past the thing and reset the lights, and no, they were very, very stringent about how they kept their food, which again is a sign that they're working actually pretty hard at this job, and they did work very hard at this job. People tried to keep the dining room as clean as possible. They tried to dish out the food as fresh as possible. They deserve to be paid more. I mean, obviously, if you have a job, you should be being paid enough to take time out of your day to give it to somebody else, right? You're giving someone else your time. They should pay you to stay alive. That's how it should work. And it was starting to occur to me that this was the case. So one day, I decided I had enough. And I carried my uniform in, waited in line until it was my turn, and set it on the counter and left. I'm not gonna work a shift that I did not sign up for and watch someone else make the money that I was supposed to make and I put in the time for. Fuck this place. I went home. I get home, and on the answering machine, there's a message for me. Here's what it says. It was very unprofessional what you did, John. I want you to know that. You're not going to have a very long career in this industry if you keep up this kind of action. This industry? You mean a cashier at Taco Bell making $5 a fucking hour? Lick my balls. Why is that a thing that people say, lick my balls? I don't... Like, is that an insult? Doesn't having your balls licked feel good? And wouldn't you want somebody that you don't hate to do it? Fuck. So I was unemployed for a while. Where did I go next? Back to Burger King! You can't see me. You can't, because of the glare. Later.